is Meg at Chasing Retro, and today I have a treat. I was able to go to an estate sale over the weekend that was sort of a hidden gem. I'm not sure that many people knew about it or were just in the mindset to shop this weekend. Or it could have been just that the type of items available did not appeal to many people, but they most certainly appealed to me as a crafter. So I wanted to share it with you, share a little bit of the story about the lady that whose house the estate sale was held at. She is still living. She obviously probably went into assisted living, so she is still alive and I'm assuming doing well, but obviously she had a lot of crafting supplies that the family wanted to get rid of to vacate the house. From the outside looking in, it appeared as if this lady was a quilter, a painter, a doll maker, and a jewelry maker. So she kind of dabbled in lots of things. By far, I think her most favorite crafting type was the decorative painting or toll painting, or what is that? Something mailing, some sort of a European type paint. That's what it appeared to me. Also, looking through her stuff, I realized that I believe that either her or her husband or both were Jewish, and that's super cool. I actually volunteer with a group that does ministry and hospitality to Jewish people in America and overseas. And so whenever I see anything that is of the Jewish faith, I get really excited, and so I pulled several of those things aside to bring home as well. And the first of which is this, I've heard of this brand before, Personal Stamp Exchange. This is a set of Hanukkah rubber stamps. They're very heavily used. I'm assuming that they're still stampable, but they are just so amazing, and I had to bring them home. I must say also that my family went to this estate sale the first day. Oh, it was the second of 3 days, which was our first day, and everything was 25% off. And then we went back the last day when everything was 50% off, and I got a few more items. She also had a few other rubber stamps, but none of them really appealed to me. But she did have this Stays On very lightly or not really used at all. I don't have any Stays On. And I wanted black, but this is a dark gray, and that works just fine for me. For $1, I thought I would grab it. And then in this box, which I'm assuming, I don't know what this would have been originally. If any one of you know, let me know. But the box is just super neat and vintage. But inside, look, we have some vintage sewing notions, beautiful cards. A lot of them are ripped in half. As you use them, you would rip them in half for easy storage, but still. Here is oh, that's another thing. I believe this lady lived in New York as well as Connecticut. So I found a lot of things showing me that she had lived in both of those states before moving to the South. And so that's also neat, because I'll show you in a minute what I mean by New York and why that's so important. Lots and lots of needles. This is not even a fraction of the needles that I was able to get. I ended up buying one of those storage drawers with the 3 drawers full of stuff. And a lot of the trims that I'm going to show you came out of that. But there was also a whole box full of more needles. So this little organizer was, I think this was in one of the drawers. But it's just a bunch of Metler brand sewing thread. This is one of my favorite brands ever. So when I saw that, I knew that just this box alone was worth $1. Here's some more needles. I tell you, there's needles everywhere. So these are obviously probably for quilting, but I have a few of the other Metler, what do you call these, variegated, but this is neat. This is like a Christmas colored variegated metallic floss thread. I did pick up a couple of her sewing items, not sewing, quilting items. Most of those I set aside, and I'm going to give those to my mom. She is an actual quilter. She quilts like crazy, and she will put all of that to good use. But I did keep this, I don't know what this is. I think this is just a little card showing how to make this quilt. But these are just beautiful blue and yellow quilt squares. I think there's 2 of each design. I guess they're supposed to be pansies on the top here. We have some solid yellow with white, and then that. Isn't this pretty? These are hydrangeas right here. Just pretty, pretty. And this, I believe this was $2, and it was half off that day, so it was $1. Not vintage, but probably early 2000s, mid 2000s, if I'm guessing. Most of her stuff was around that era, but there were a few items in here that I believe are older than that. So excited to find this. Colchester Mill Fabrics. And so originally this was $40. These charm packs, I guess that's what they're called, are just so expensive. So if you ever see these at a good price at an estate sale or yard sale, get them. I got this huge box full of safety pins. I'll never use all these in my entire lifetime, but she's got a lot of them, you know, attached together. But yeah. Also, the box is cute. And then I just put a bunch of stuff as I was cleaning through and throwing out stuff. I put a bunch of stuff in this lid. And everything else that was not useful went into the trash. But she took pictures of some of the quilts that she made. I won't go through all of them, but I think this is neat. My mom does this with her quilts that she makes just as a record to herself, and a way to hold on to her memories of making them and where they went. So it's just, it makes me so sad that these things are at an estate sale and, you know, sold away. All these tools that she used to make these beautiful things. But I'm glad to be able to continue to honor the creativity that she had in her hands. So she's got some, those are just a bag of film canisters and these little tiny bead canisters. So that'll be great for organizing small things. And then there were 3 needle books in her stash. This one is so neat. Grand Union Supermarkets. I don't know where these were. If this is familiar to you, let me know. I'm assuming it's New York, Connecticut area. These are just some quilt scraps that I found in the bottom of one of the drawers. I don't know what these are. At first I thought they were earplugs, but I don't know. And then here's all the needles I was saying, and craft knife, and tiny embroidery hoops, button cards. Y'all, look at this. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? And then some, you just can't match the quality of these old scissors like this. I love them. And tiny little plastic junk rings. Parts of a rotary cutter. I was sad that the whole thing was not in here, but that's fine. I think that's all in here. Yep. Let me set this down real fast. Okay. Take a sip of coffee real quick. Okay, so here is one basket of trims. This is all taken out of those drawers that I've taken outside, and they're washed and drying in the sun. Little teeny snippets of this. I don't really know where the rest of it is, but just super unique. If you like interesting laces and trims, you're gonna love this next part. If it's boring to you, feel free to just not watch, but there's so many things in here. Interesting patterns I've never ever seen anywhere else. I didn't realize that eyelet came in bags like this, but evidently at one time they did. So this is an unopened bag of white eyelet. I feel like I already have about 1,500 spools of this exact lace design, so I will be putting some of this, and let me say this too, this one too, I have way too much of this print, this design. I've got so many beautiful trims now, probably way more than I should ever hold on to. I thought about putting some in my shop, but instead of listing them individually, I wanted to ask y'all's feedback. If y'all would be interested in getting some of these unique trims, would you rather see them listed individually, or would some sort of a grab bag or by the ounce variety or assortment, would that be interesting or fun to you? I know personally I like grab bags. I love the surprise of not really knowing everything that's inside. But I know that I've done my fabrics that way. I sort of sold some packs by color and they did really well. This summer when I have more time, I'll probably do the same thing again. But as far as laces and trims go, if you're interested in some of this vintage and semi-vintage stuff, let me know and how you would prefer to buy it if you are shopping for such things. Y'all, look at this eyelet. It is apples. I've never ever seen this before, and there is so much of it. It's still in its original little plastic. This is what Wright trims used to come in, evidently, when stores got it. I wonder if maybe she was a wholesaler at some point or knew someone that was, and you'll see why in a minute. She's got a lot of trim that I feel like wouldn't be generally available to the public unless she had some sort of inroads to this company in New York that made them. This was super unique and interesting. It's like it's ruffled, but it's got the ruffle on the top as well. And then it's like tulips or wedding bells. Isn't that neat? And it's really wide. I love that so much. And I have so much of this right here. Like, it's not even funny. This is like an ecru, 100% cotton crochet trim with ribbon woven through. They almost look like dragonflies. I don't think they are, but I have never seen this design anywhere, and I have a ton of it. More of the little pieces again. There were a few small doilies in here as well. This is a Battenberg lace. Maybe it's a coaster, but these are great just, you know, as a little, if you're doing a patchwork journal or a layered lace cover on a journal, those are really nice to use. The only colored eyelet in the whole box was this lavender, which is so pretty. This is a sort of soft feeling. This is not cotton, this is acrylic or polyester, but again, it was a design I did not have, so I'm excited about that one. And then this one is also very nice. Just beautiful. Very intricate. Here is an eyelet with like a daisy design. I have also not seen this before. Here's just some standard 5-petal flower eyelet in an ivory. Here's some more of those doilies. These are sort of an antiqued color. They're not old. I think they had an AC Moore sticker on them. So they're probably 15 years old. This looks old. This is crocheted and it's cotton. With, you know, the net wrapped around the top, but it's got a lot of the age spots on it that you see in something a little bit older. But I thought that was interesting and unique. This is like a butternut or a lemony color, and it's very 60s looking to me. I like that. Here's another eyelet. These look like clovers, maybe. Some more doilies. That one's pretty. This is tatted, but I think it's machine done. But isn't that so nice? And then we have a couple that are like the starched Christmas ornament type. And another Battenberg. This is not many small laces in this collection, but this one is cute. And then we have some seam binding right here. And then this is really nice, very delicate and small. Oh, I just realized it's double layer. Look at that. It's got a scallop. That's pretty. I think it's upside down, but you get the picture. And then more of that, the lace that I feel like I see everywhere, that I have too much of. And just a strip of eyelet. This is very unique also. I love that. And then more doilies. I don't need any more of these. I am set on this type of thing right here. These look fun. I told my husband that this kind of looks like a lemon slice. Isn't that neat? Okay, so that's all those trims. The next box just had a conglomeration of small things loose and then some on cards. There's things like this, just a little tassel. This is gonna have to be washed, I think, because it's it's been stored like this for so long. And then a ton of black rickrack. This is beautiful just for the card. So it's really interesting, crinkly feeling yarn in a gold, which is really neat. Here's another piece of lace, double layer. Isn't that pretty? You could even take this apart and use the two pieces separately. This way. Yeah, there's a lot of this type of cable knit, almost bridal quality nylon cording, just so pretty. Like I said, I think she made dolls and doll dresses, and so I can see where a lot of these would be used as trim on that. Here's some black crochet. Here's some ladder trim. I've never seen a shiny version like that. There are a few little heart doilies in here. This one I thought looks like a centipede, but it's really cool. And then, that's just a bag. Oh yeah, I got more hearts. Look at all these. I've got some white and some off-white. And then this is gorgeous, isn't it? I'm telling you, I just don't see stuff that's quite like this now in stores. So when I come across this kind of stuff, I'm so delighted. That's a unique pattern. Okay, more doilies. I'm just gonna leave that in there because it's redundant. This looks like the kind of trim you would use on an upholstered chair. And it's a beautiful French blue. This, more hearts, they're everywhere. This is, look at this. So I'm working on gathering stuff for like a 1920s journal. I think it's this way. And this kind of stuff just makes me think of Art Deco. So I'll be keeping that for that one. And then here come the cards. So all of these cards are from a place called the J Company, 38th Street in New York. And my daughter looked it up and she said, oh, this is in the middle of the fashion district, or what used to be. I don't know if it still is. I looked up this company's name and I didn't see anything other that had been posted about it since about 2012. A few things in the early 2000s and late 1990s, but I have no idea if this company is still around, if they had to relocate to a, less popular part of the city. I don't know. I don't think it's in the same location, but it says the largest stocked line of braids, ribbons, chiffly, and novelties in the world, which is pretty amazing. That would be a fun store to spend a day in. Like I said, I don't know if it's a retail store or if it was a wholesale distributor, but this lady had the ability and the inroads to get in there and shop she did. So many beautiful trims. I know that people sell this like as a card with everything on it on Etsy. I'm not gonna do that because honestly I want to keep most of these. But like I said, if anyone is interested in like a little grab bag of pieces from some of these, I would consider putting that together if there is enough interest. That takes a lot of time and energy, as you can probably imagine. So I will only do that if I think that it will be a profitable endeavor for me to try. Here's another one. This one is not J Company. This is just a card with eyelet. It says Fabric Bin. That must have been a store as well. Here's another J Company. Isn't this so beautiful? Not all of them list how many yards there are, so I would have to measure to see what's remaining. This is like a peachy pink lace, and I just thought it was so pretty. When I opened the drawer to see if I wanted to spend the money on the whole cabinet, this is what fell out first. And I was like, well, if it has pink lace, I think I'm gonna like the rest of it, so. And then here's another card of that same lace. I think it's the same. So the other piece that I showed you a minute ago that was by itself, here's some more of it right here. All right, here's another just loose piece that is left over. Reminds me of chandeliers. And then we have this piece. This is like something that would go around a waistband. I love that. This is super fun. I just love this so much. I don't know why. It's just fun. This is a super fine, delicate lace. I love this one too. Who am I kidding? I like pretty much all lace. Oh, I think I have it upside down. Yep. Isn't that nice? And then another loose piece here, just another braided cord. Looks like the same one from earlier, the chandelier type shape, but it's a much smaller version. I'm gonna have to wind all of these onto cards. And then we have some iridescent rickrack and white, sort of a sheen rickrack. Not much of those. And then, y'all, look at this. I wish there was more of this in there. I love this type of ribbon. Jacquard, is that what it's, no, that's not right. I can't remember what this is called. But the back is pretty too. In fact, when I saw it, I thought those were strawberries because of the little dots, but I believe they're cherries. If you look at it this way though, it looks like flowers. So I guess you can make it either, but super unique and fun. That'll be fun in a recipe journal. This is beautiful, isn't it? I wish I had more of it. This is really nice as well. This is the kind that if it gets stored like this, you have to iron it. It's just temperamental. Oh, I have one more piece like that. But again, not enough. I love that. That would make such cute belly bands or pockets. Okay, now we start with some of the more fun colors. These are little daisies, I think. And this card had like a Scottish blend almost. It's a dark green with black and a red with black. But I thought that would look cute. I'm working on a Scottish journal. This is probably gonna be a year out. As you can imagine, it's not easy to find stuff for a Scottish journal, but those are very tartan-like colors. And then look at this card. We've got some black and white gingham, blue and white gingham, and lime and white gingham. Is that not adorable? We have this loose piece, which goes right up my alley for retro journals. So fun. This is super interesting. I really don't know how to describe the way it feels. It's just fun. It's like a plastic shoelace kind of, but it's iridescent or pearlescent, I should say. White iris. And here's a whole card full of this rope braided trim in black. 35 cents a yard. So that alone tells me that these are bought a long time ago. It'd be nice if things were still 35 cents a yard. This is like the ivory I showed you, but it's a silver. Isn't that pretty? I wish I had gold too. But hey, I am happy to have the silver. Here is some chenille. Now it looks kind of like red. It was actually sitting in the box beside some red suede cord, and I took it out because I was afraid it would ruin other things in the box. It's sitting over there. It's just a suede cord. But maybe I can wash it and get this red off of it. And then here's some more interesting braided trim. Same thing, I think. Or that's, okay, this is that, but with chenille on the back. And this is super unique. I've never seen anything like that. I love it, I love it. Here's just a beautiful braid. So much white. That's why I was wondering, maybe she did wedding stuff too. Or even hat making, you know? This is so fun. This is like an iridescent with some fuzzy white in the middle. I wish there was more of this. We have a card with red and white with stars. Here's a card with chenille, black and white, and then some gingham ribbon. Snow leopard. I guess that's what this one is called. 3 beautiful braided cord. I guess this would be, it's non-elastic, just beautiful, beautiful trim. Copen, I'm assuming that's Copenhagen, rose pink, and Nile. Here's a beautiful gold. That's also beautiful. That would be beautiful on upholstery as well. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is all I have of this, but look how pretty. I just have this one small piece. Isn't that so delicious? And then silver and black. And, okay, here's another roll of a lot. It looks like almost an eye. Crocheted trim, just an oval or obelisk shape. There were 2 random crocheted napkins in here in an off-white. And then a few more, 2 more cards of the daisy trim. We have red and white, purple and yellow, and pink and purple. This one's all crazy, coming apart. And look at this one. Yellow and green, blue and white, and blue and green. Is that not so pretty? I mean, goodness gracious. And then we have just this, I don't know what this is, just a wide, flat, braided piece. And that's pretty much it for the trims. And let me run and grab the 3. I bought 3 of her paintings. I want to show those to you as well, because I just could not let all of those paintings sit there and or be thrown away or whatever they did with them. I wanted to bring some of them home so I can cherish this lady's artwork. She obviously loved what she did. I'll be right back. Okay. So this was a painting of lilies and daisies, I think, on just a piece of wood that she has made a frame with. And it would be beautiful over a window or a doorway. And look, it was entered into a contest and she won 2nd place. So I just could not leave this there. The price was amazing, and again, I will find a way to use all 3 of these in my home somewhere. Take something else down if I have to, just because they're so beautiful. This is oil, I believe, on canvas, and it's been framed. Look at this. It's like a still life with peonies maybe and berries. Isn't that so beautiful? And this one is dated 2008. I love the frame too. And then last but not least is this beautiful butterfly with a daisy. And I'm not a huge fan of the frame. I love the frame by itself, but with this picture, and because it's sort of a 70s vibe, I'm thinking I might paint the frame with chalk paint, maybe a bright yellow or a green or white. But I just love it. This looks like watercolor. And yeah, I could not leave these there. And I'm sure you will agree with me that they are worth preserving. So that was the estate sale, guys. I spent very little money. I did not spend much at all. I probably could have stayed in there all day and bought everything. If I had had room for it, I would have. She just had so many unique and interesting items. But I am glad that I rescued all of these trims. I plan to put all of these to good use, and I would love to share some of them with all of you and people who come to my shop. Tell me your favorite item that you saw today. Was there just something that jumped out at you as your favorite? I'd love to know. And I appreciate you watching as always, and I hope all of you have a wonderful Monday evening. We'll see you next time. Bye.